Moldova's parliament, dominated by pro-Western lawmakers, approved a 10-year defense strategy on December 26, aimed at boosting defense spending as part of its efforts to join the European Union. Defense Minister Arutaro Nostali presented the strategy, which seeks to raise spending to 1% of the country's gross domestic product (GDP) by 2030. The first step to implementing this was taken after the war in Ukraine started, by increasing budget resources for defense to 0.39% in 2022 and 0.55% in 2023, the document said, according to Reuters. So, truth be told, how can a country's defense budget be under 1%? And from 0.39% they increase in 2022, they increase it to 0.55% in 20, and they are happy over it. And now they are increasing it to 1%, they are happy over it. At this point in time, we live in a time where history is repeating itself. Because most of the places where some countries are countries today are lands they took away from other people. And you see that these things are beginning to, this history is repeating itself. At this point in time, it's not even too big if every country is making their defense budget up to 5%. What is 1%? Yes, because the first constitutional duty of every government is to protect life and property. How can you even properly protect life and property in your country when your defense budget is under 1% or 1%? The pro-Russian opposition in parliament mocked the strategy, calling it an unnecessary move against Moscow, given Moldova's small size and limited military capacity. Andrian Abu, a member of pro-Moscow Socialist Party, dismissed the strategy as futile. If, God forbid, we are subject to an attack from the direction of the Russian Federation, how long do you think Moldova will resist such aggression? Simply because we are shouting from a rostrum, he repeatedly said. Moldova, one of Europe's poorest countries, lies between Ukraine and EU member Romania. As an EU candidate, it aims for membership by 2030 but remains committed to its neutral status, which the Constitution enshrines. Moldova does not intend to join NATO, but plans to strengthen the partnerships with various countries and international organizations to bolster its defense capacity. So, truth be told, they are having neutral status. They will be an European member by 2030. The way the politics are going in Europe, do they even know if European Union will still exist by 2030? Yes, because with the emergence of the far right on daily basis, how sure are the so-called Moldova that European Union might even exist by 2030? Yes, because we see what is happening all over Europe. You see that with the happenings all over Europe, the far rights are the only party that are singing the rhythm that the third generations in Europe want to hear, and that's why the far right is becoming stronger. They are getting the numbers. So, it's now late for them. Romania, them having border with Romania, which Romania is part of European Union, is one thing. But Moldova on its own have to increase their budgets, just like that pro-Moscow politician said. If they are to be attacked by Russia today, how long can they hold on? So it's now late for them to go and do their homework and increase their defense budgets, reform some of their laws to encourage their people to enter into the Moldova's army so that they will have enough military capacity. They can invest in their military capacity, in their military personnel, in military tech, to be able to defend their territory in case of any aggression. Yes, I find it appalling when you hear that countries like this, especially in the West, are increasing their defense budget to 0 point. They are even increasing to 1%, and they are clapping for themselves. When you know that even though you increase your military or defense budget up to 5%, is not too much. Compared to that, we live in a time where you see that history keeps repeating itself. Yes, at first Russia came to get Crimea, and they continued. We don't know what awaits all of us in 2025. We might equally find ourselves in a similar situation in 2025, that one country will start going for another country that separated itself from them. So every country have to spend heavily in their defense pact to be able to be capable, tech-wise, financial-wise, capacity-wise, to defend their territory.